Hi there YouTube family, and welcome into today's video, which is going to be the very requested tutorial out of the Emily's Wants palette. These palettes are so beautiful and everybody is picking them up to support our beautiful Emily, and I'm so glad that I was able to do that too. So the look that I chose to do today kind of reflects how the weather is changing a little bit, and I wanted to use the greens in here because I think they're so beautiful, the greens that she's chosen in here. So I did a little bit of an ombre effect on my eyelid. I chose to use a few of the saddle brown oranges in there on my transition color. I hope that you do enjoy this. So let's get into the tutorial so that you guys can see how easy it is to create this look. Okay, you guys, so first thing I did was I lined my tape up from the corner just a little bit away from my eye down here, about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, up to the tail end of my eyebrow. And then what I did was I primed it with the Essence I Love Stage eyeshadow primer. Let that sit for a little while. Now what I'm going to do is go in with my pencil from Benefit, my highbrow pencil, and I'm going to trace along my brow all the way. And please don't skip that step, because I feel like as we age, that hooded eye or the eyebrows, everything feels like it's drooping, right? So make sure you do that so that that can go up, show a little bit of a lift and the illusion of lift right there. Okay, now I'm going to take the color Oh Heavens right here, and I'm gonna take my little brush. I've had this brush for so long, I don't really even know, but it's like an angled or pointed little paddle brush. So I'm gonna go into Oh Heavens right here. I'm gonna pick up just ever so small amount of that, and I'm going to put it right there at the very arch of my brow. I'm not gonna pull it all over there, nothing like that. I'm just gonna just barely put it there. And again, what that does, when it catches the light, it's gonna make that lifted look in there. Okay, so next, I'm gonna take my finger down into that Oh Heavens color again, and I'm going to put this across my eyelid. And I'm gonna do it about 3/4 of the way across, coming in as far as I can without making a mess, and 3/4 of the way across. I'm doing this lightly because I find that because I am blending that part right there, any transfer that comes from that shimmer color will be blended away. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M441 brush, and I'm going to load it in with this color called Cupcake right here. And then I'm going to push the color down in there into my lid of my brush switch, and then I'm going to tap that off. So I am just going to very lightly, and you guys know I don't do the windshield wiper, I never have, and we're just going to go very lightly, and we're going to start on that outer corner. I'm actually going to follow how my brow is in the line of my transition color, except for right out here on the tail. On the tail, I'm going to build that up so that it almost touches the tail of my eyebrows. So we're having this lifted look once again. So I'm going all the way over into the inner eyebrow, using those bouncing motions or just swirling motions. I am touching my eyeshadow so lightly right now, you guys. If you could feel how lightly I'm doing, you'd be really surprised. So I'm not really using a lot of pressure right now. And if I were, you could see that lid moving, but it's not moving. It's just barely touching it to barely lay down color, and just building it up so slightly, because you know, anytime you have really pigmented eyeshadows, you're going to have a tendency to put on too much color in the beginning. That's why it's so good to use a very, very light color in the beginning and then work your way out. So yeah, definitely just use very light hand, and then we're going to move on to our next color. Okay, our next color is going to be called Midwest. It's right here below Oh Heavens. We're working in this line right here on the outside of the palette. So Cupcake was that first transition color, Oh Heavens was on the lid, and then right now we're gonna pick up Midwest. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm using this one is a Morphe, nope, this one is a Luxie 231 brush, and I'm just gonna pick that up, pushing the product into the brush, and then tapping it off. And then we're gonna start down quite a little bit, and we're just going to again, we're just swirling and pushing it over. We're going to push this color over about 2/3 of the way in. And see right here where my eyelid is so wrinkled, and even when I lift my brow, it's super wrinkled right there. I'm just going to continue to lift my brow just slightly, but put my brow down again so that the color can go on there. But as I'm even putting the color on there, because my brow is going to go up while I'm putting the color on and then down, I need to make sure that it's all coming together, because it could be completely different when you lift your eyes like this or when you put your brows down like this. So I'm just going to be doing it with my eyebrows up and putting some color in there, and then put my eyebrows down so that I can see what is going on next. And just buffing and blending that out. And like I said, about 2/3 of the way in, where we went all the way in with the transition color. Okay, once you have that built up to where you think it looks really good, then you can move on to the darker color that we're going to be using. And I'm going into this color called corduroy right here. And this is such a pretty green color. Please don't be intimidated by it. Just put your brush in here, just a little bit, just touch it a little bit in there. And then go over and again, load the brush like so and tap it off again. You're gonna find that when you load the brush like this, you tap it off and there won't be hardly anything being tapped off on the normal shadows. So what we're going to do, if you can look at this one, I didn't come very far over with that. So we're just going to start by just barely putting that color into the corner. And we are just doing teeny tiny little circular and buffing motions. And we're laying it down, and we're laying down quite a bit of product. And what that does is that starts our color from where we need it to be. Okay, once you feel like you've got that dark enough right there, take your brush switch or a cloth and just wipe your brush off, because now you really don't need any more color. Because if you started right over with the color, you're going to get a ton of color over there. Instead, we're going to take this cleaned brush, and we're just going to start to blend and blend and blend that dark color out. I'm going to stay about, I would say halfway, maybe not that far. And right here, I'm going in a triangle. Right there, it's going to go into a triangle. And that is going to help me keep this in place and not let it get too out of hand. Gonna go just teeny tiny bit over here in the crease, just wiggle back and forth without bringing it up too far. And now I'm going to start to build up that outer corner. If you can see, I put that dark color right there on that outer corner. I'm gonna start to build that up on this side too. And what's nice is there's a lot of color in this brush and a lot of color moved around from the actual original laying down of the colors. So we don't have to really work too hard to get too much color in there. Okay, so now one more time, I'm gonna take this brush. By the way, this is from ColourPop. I don't know, it doesn't have a number on it, but it's like a firm shader brush. I'm gonna go into corduroy one more time. I'm gonna tap it barely. I'm just giving it one tap. So just do one tap, you guys, and then go into and load it up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this on the very, very outer corner. And now I'm just working on making that little line right there really dark. Barely, barely. Just circling it into that corner. What I want you to do is I want you to keep tapping one time into your powder and then picking up your brush and working it until you get the depth that you can see that looks like the other eye or what you want for your shadow to look like. So we're just bringing a lot of depth in there, but we're just bringing it way out here. We're not going anywhere else. Because if we were to go anywhere else, then it would actually detract from all this transition color that we put up here. Okay, really like how that looks. Now we're going to do a little bit of a gradient. If you can see on that eyelid over here, I took the light green that's in here and I did a gradient with it. The light green in here is called Grateful. And so I'm gonna just put my finger in there again, I'm going to pick up Grateful, and I'm just putting it barely where that dark green meets the white color. And I'm just going in an absolute triangle. I'm just slanting that completely off. And I'm going to put it over my lid. So I've got a third of the dark, a third of the green, and then a third is that light color, which I'm going to go in and I'm going to do again right now. That light white color called Oh Heavens. And I'm just building that up. Okay. Now take your finger. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. Your fingers can be your best tool because you can actually use them in whatever pressure you need to. So lightly, I'm going to just blend the light green color with the dark green color with my finger. And then I'm going to pick up the brush that doesn't have any, I'm not putting in any extra product on it. And I'm going to push the green over. And then I'm going to take my original brush that I used that had Cupcake on it, the original transition color, and I'm going to blend everything together. Okay, now we get to take off the tape. And we have this beautiful line right there that gives us the same look as this side. Usually when I use my tape, I don't put my concealer on first, but I did it for the video. So I'm gonna go off camera and I'm just gonna fix this right here with my concealer and I'll be right back. Okay, I used this fluffy brush from Wet n Wild that I got in a set, and I use this actually to buff out the hard line because I also use it to lay down my brightening banana powder that I put underneath my eyes. So it has a little bit of powder on it, so it's going to diffuse that line a little bit. And then the next thing, I'm going to use my Sigma felt tip liner, and I'm going to line my eyelid. Going in and doing the waterline with a black. This is from Thrive Cosmetics. I have just received a bunch of stuff from Thrive Cosmetics. Thank you so much, ladies. So now I'm taking a Sigma E30 pencil brush. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to take my NYX Multitasker Mixing Medium. You guys know that this is one of those things that I love. I'm going to take one tiny dot. I mean, we are talking a minuscule dot. Hopefully you can see it on there. And I'm going to pick up the color Corduroy that we used to darken up the look right there. I'm going to roll my brush in that. And then I'm going to roll my brush into my mixing medium, and I am making myself a custom eyeliner. What this does with the medium is that it helps to keep that eyeliner on all day. It helps make it waterproof. So all I'm going to do now is I want to connect this bottom part with this part up here. So I'm going to go into that corner, into the waterline, and just back and forth until I feel like it has really connected. Then once I feel like it's connected with those two right there, I'm going to lightly pull it over into this inner corner with making it lighter as I go along. Lighter and thinner as it comes into that inner corner. Okay, so I might have a little bit left on my brush, and I could just go into that top part of the eyelid and darken that a little bit if I wanted to. And what I did on the other eye is I took Grateful on that same pencil brush, and I took just a little bit of it and I put it towards the inner corner, not in the inner corner, just about a quarter of the way, to give a little bit of light right there. Okay, now back to that pink brush that I had, that it was the little paddle brush. I'm going to go back into Oh Heavens, which is the color that we started with on the lid, and I'm really loading that up, and I'm going to be doing the highlight color for my inner corner. And I'm connecting it with the top and then bringing it down the bottom to really lighten up that corner as much as I can. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go off camera and do my mascara. I'll be right back to talk to you. Okay, everybody, I wanna just give you a close-up for just a second of what the look looks like. So there's the eyes, and it turned out so pretty. I am in love with this palette just like everybody else is. There are countless possibilities in here. I am happy to do other looks for you guys. So I had to back you up just for a minute. I felt like I was getting too close. So I hope that you did enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, whether or not this is something that you would want to wear. And if there are colors in there that you would like me to create a look out of, I'm happy to do that for you guys. Maybe I could even do it over on Instagram in an Insta story or something like that. So that's everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching with me, you guys. I love you all so very much, and I will talk to you in my very next video. Bye, you guys.